Smash that like button for me. Okay, so Safaree, the guys who robbed him, they're all being indicted. We'll go through that in a second. Then we also got De La Soul. They're being ripped off. It's not fair. And I have some funny stuff for you later, too. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Hit that bell, hit that subscribe button, guys. Smash that thumbs up button because it's free. And when you spread free love, you get love back in the form of good luck. Okay, let's get into this. Safaree, the robbers were indicted, okay? And all three robbers are indicted on 7 charges. Will Safaree take the stand against them? That's the question. So the 3 guys who allegedly robbed Safaree Samuels at gunpoint. They were all caught on surveillance. He was in this big dookie fur. He looks crazy. Then there were, let's see, a guy named Sean, Takuma, and Carl, 3 of those guys, all slapped with 7 counts in an indictment, including armed robbery in the 1st degree, unlawful possession of a gun. 2nd degree, they're also charged with 1 count of resisting arrest after they crashed the car fleeing on foot. Okay, so then Safaree was held at gunpoint in April and robbed of more than $180,000 in cash and jewelry. I don't know. Was it real? Was it real? And why would he have so much cash on him? He probably had about 10 grand in cash, right? So anyways, the men had been tracking him for some time before it all went down. And the thieves, one of the thieves was someone, it's always someone you know, right? Safaree knew the guy. So it is what it is. If convicted, they're facing a sentence, a maximum sentence of 20 years. Will Safaree take the stand against them? We will have to see. Next up, we got, oh yeah, right here. Boom, De La Soul. Let's read this. Okay, so Joe Budden brought attention to this. Salute to Joe Budden. De La Soul's minuscule profits. They sell us depression. Now, Joe Budden cried during this because he's an artist himself, and it pains him to see people who he looked up to. I mean, we all listened to De La Soul when we were really young. Even when we grew up, I mean, they're part of the culture, man. You know, De La Soul made some really good, great music, and to see that they were being robbed, man, and they're still being robbed to this day. It says, so he says, De La Soul won't reap the benefits of their albums getting uploaded to streaming service. They won't get any benefits. Over the weekend, De La Soul only stands to recuperate a merger 10% meager. What's wrong with me? I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. A meager 10% of the profits. Okay, so they only get 10% of the streams. That's like nothing. People don't really know who De La Soul is. They would have to really do a campaign with Spotify and Apple and everything to bring attention to themselves again. And why would you do that for 10%? These are the guys who created this music. 10%. Tommy Boy is, it's a clause in Tommy Boy's contract. I think it's in perpetuity. They own the publishing rights and they own the group's catalog. And they're just being, this has to be rectified somehow, guys. I mean, this is crazy. This contract needs to be recontracted, as Birdman says. So, you know, a lot of artists got ripped off in the 80s and 90s, you know. So Joe Budden, State of the Culture, he talks about everything going on. They broach, so, okay, so they talk about De La Soul and how they were just, they're just in a bad contract. And it's a legal battle with 60s pop rock offset Turtles. So I'm probably, okay, here it is. So Joe Budden begins, he's rehashing the trouble with De La Soul when they had Transmitting Life from Mars. It was a sample, hit the pavement, causing lengthy, painstaking battle with 60s pop rock outfit, the Turtles. Okay, so they had a big, back then, not all, especially Tommy Boy was small in the beginning, so they didn't clear everything. So they, in the beginning of their career, they had a tough time because these people probably wanted all the profits. And he said, what do you think these stories, being the same amount of time, the same amount of years, like when you look at De La telling you their battles from 30 years ago? Did De La come out in the 80s? I listened to him in the late 90s, and that was late because obviously I was too young to listen to him. Man, Tommy Boy gave fuck deals to everybody, but it was the only place where you could go to have creative control. Then he talked about Def Jam. Yeah, man. I don't know. Let's just put it this way. It's not fair. And as a culture, right, as a hip-hop culture, we should stand up for musicians that are still getting ripped off from back then, you know? They should at least get 50%, man. They already ate off the good times. Tommy Boy already ate off the good times. They're going to eat off the later times? That's crazy, man. Anyways, lastly, I got a little thing for you. This is funny. Let me pull this picture up and then we'll end it there. Look at this. Look at this. They look alike, they talk alike. They're the perfect crew. Here's their girlfriends. That's her boyfriend. Which one is Amber Rose? I'm not sure. They look alike. They're like twins. It's like that's her brother. Her twin brother. What the hell is going on here? What's going on? Anyways, guys, I didn't mean to say hell, but yeah, wow. I'll check you guys later. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys in the next one, and I appreciate you guys so much. I'll check you later. Peace.